Welcome back to the GLAC Studios oil painting tutorial classes. This is class 6 of oil painting tutorial, and we are continuing to paint on a 40 by 40 centimeter canvas. We are working on a baby portrait, a baby girl's portrait. My name is Gomati. We will just go over what we have done so far in the last 5 classes as a recap before we get started. So the first class was more about trying to identify the kind of brushes that we want to use, and when we are experimenting new in oil painting zone, how beneficial it is to start with something very cheaper and easier to use, and then moving on to buying branded oil painting material. We also talked about the canvas, how to use the canvas and so on, and the quality of canvas, and what exactly are we aiming at when we are painting layers and layers on top of a canvas. So we had a lot of discussion on that, and we did get started with the first layer, just making the first layer. That was the first class. In the second class, we did get a little more into mathematical side of our discussion, where we talked about the golden ratio and how I'm using the golden ratio. Many artists use it very differently for different purposes, and I'm sharing my methods, approaches to the golden ratio. So we did see that, and we did start looking at placing the baby girl in our canvas in our second class, and that's what we did. And then we moved on in the third class to do what we call as blocking. I think the third and fourth class was entirely about blocking the spaces and identifying light and dark shades on a broader range, not too specific, not too much into the detail, but at a broader space. We did that as a focus area for us to work on this canvas on the classes 3 and 4. The fifth class is more into starting to work on a bit of the detail, at the same time giving the natural tonality. So that's where we started on the fifth class. We did the face, the body basically of the baby girl, using 4 different tonalities, and that's where we stopped. And we said in the 6th class, this is going to be fun because we are going to do some of this detailing on the baby girl's shirt, and then we are going to work on the toy that she has. They move on to doing a little bit of the background, and in the beginning of the class itself, I have shared the picture. This is available in the link. My friend has been very kind as to share the picture of her 6 months old baby girl, and that's what we have as the subject. And we also have an option, if you are more interested in trying somebody that is close to you, that want to experiment with, you could always opt for doing something else. That's what we decided in the beginning. And the most important concept, coming back to the copying of a picture, and I will repeat this, I think, more and more in all my classes, that when we are trying to use a subject to learn art, it's good that we are trying to have some copies like this, some printouts like this, or having an iPad, iPhone, or a laptop next to us with the picture on. It's always good, but the more better it is, and the more we learn from the real subjects instead of just taking pictures. So that's one thing I am always trying to insist on. Use natural subjects if you can. If not possible, then the other thing is that to not copy exactly. So if we are taking some of the concepts from a picture, try to introduce your own ideas and mix something of your own. So your creative zone is always opened up and it's curious to learn something new all the time. Um, and that's where I said I'm not going to copy exactly what is there in the picture. We did make some of the changes when we saw the picture has the child is having a small little toy around her, very close to her body. We removed that, and instead of that, we introduced two more fingers that was not visible clearly in this picture, and then in the hand also the picture is cut off a bit where the left hand is not fully visible. So we also did that. That was a part of developing our own idea. And more so today, when we are doing the third layer, after we finish this, the shirt of the baby and the toy, and then we will move on to these spaces where you can clearly see that I have made a change as compared to what is there in the picture. So we have an indoor atmosphere in the picture, and as a contrast right here, it's going to be a outdoor atmosphere, skyline and grassy yeah, platform or something like that where the baby is. So this is what we are going to do. Yeah. So enough of the recap. I think we are now ready to get started. I'm super happy to get started. That's most important, isn't it? That we are totally enjoying what we are doing. I have my usual brushes, not too fancy items. I have basic brushes with me. These are all synthetic brushes. Brush number 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So maybe I will not use all of them. I'll start with possibly 4, I think. Yeah, I'm starting with brush number 4 today. I still have the paint from the last class. I haven't done much. So they say same white. I think I can reuse. That's one benefit of using oil painting. So it stays there, provided you come back to it every day. Yeah. So I have a bit of my oil. The oil that I have been using is cold pressed raw linseed oil. That's what I've been using. I do not use faster drying mediums, though they are available in the market. So it's always a slow process with my paintings. The reason why I do not use faster drying mediums is the smell of it. I'm a little sensitive to smell. So if you are okay with the smell, or if you have a very large space, working space for your painting, you're welcome to try the faster drying mediums. Otherwise, it's safer always to go back with something basic like what I have. So nothing fancy. The paints that I have been using, I also touched base in the recap that I use many different brands, not just one brand. But this is not because of a choice that I made. The brand that I was regularly buying into got closed here in the place where I live, so I had to switch brands. So I'm still experimenting brands, and that's the reason you will see different brands coming out of my um, cart out here. But it doesn't mean this is the right way to go. Try to stick to one brand. I am in the transition, if I may say so, from one brand to the other, but eventually I would like to stick to only one brand where I am convinced with the color tonalities and convinced with the shades that I'm achieving and so on. Yeah, so it's up to your choice. Try not to use too many brands like me. Okay, we are now going back to the work. So I take a little bit of the white, nothing much. I think I'm going to work on this, the shirt of the baby girl, one more time. So now I do that, and I know the areas where it's got a darker space as well. But again, there are certain things that we can do to show the dark and the light, isn't it? So the right opposite of a white will be to use a black to do the darker shades. There is brown that you already see in my second layer. So that's one choice. But I think I love the idea of using a blue. I will tell you why. I can see that it's going to be a greeny background out here. The toys will have very bright, fancy colors. There will be a light sky blue here, but the darker blue, the ultramarine blue or anything close to a darker side of Perusian blue maybe, will not be in this picture. So I want to bring in that. So I'm going to use a blue to do the layer where there are shades instead of this. Naturally, it's a, you can use a slight gray also to do that. It doesn't matter. Gray, black, brown, anything would do. So it's your choice where you want to show dark and light, that you are trying something. Again, see, the look at the scope where you can play around and experiment. You have a safer medium, you have copied certain things, so you're going to follow that. But even within that, can you play around with the colors? Can you try something? Yeah, that's something very useful for practice. We are doing this for practice, and we are doing it for our own happiness and enjoyment, isn't it? So there's nothing to worry about trying something. So I'm just painting off white, and very soon I will take up the other color that I want to. So it's just white and making one more layer neatly and leaving out the space where there is a brown, because that's exactly where I want to rework with a blue rather. And let's see how that comes out. I also do not know how it comes out. Of course, I have experimented certain things with some of my paintings before, but this one, I'm doing it along with you, isn't it? So I also do not know many things now. Okay, got that. It's an easy fill. So filling in on the lighter areas where you can already clearly see that there is lighter areas. They fill in on that. Doesn't take much time. If you are doing it faster than me, it's fine. Again, I always say that, it's a good idea to make a pause button and do it in your own pace and come back to this video. So allow yourself the time you need to experiment, to do it very well. Try to get the quality right. Okay, so here we go. Coming close to the right shoulder of the baby girl. I think I've got most of it covered now, isn't it? So can we experiment now? So it's coming to the experimentation moment where we take, so I have Prussian blue. And this is from the old brand that I'm still having a bit of with me. And my Mary is Classico, made in Italy. I still am a fan of this brand. So I'm going to do that and try doing the, so it's not mixing. So I am going to only touch base on the places where I need a darker shade. So I go back to taking number 2. I have a brush, number 4, that I've been using for the white. I still want it clean if I need it, maybe. So I'm just putting it back. And I go back to brush number 2. And I take very slightly. And with oil paintings, if you have already not guessed it yet, you will see that each pigment has a very different style, a very different level of fluidity. How do I express it? So the translucence of the color, like if you brush it off like this, you can find that it's translucent. And so a lot of things like that do play a vital role. So always when you are starting something new, just take a tiny bit of it. You never know what you're taking and starting, isn't it? So it's always better to start very tiny, not too much. I've not filled my brush with the color yet. You see, it's only the tip that has got a little bit of the blue. I think that is more than enough for me. If I need be, I will definitely go for more. But for now, I'm just doing a very slight tinge of this to see where it goes. Okay, I'm beginning to like it. Okay. Yes, got it. And this is where it's gonna go, like this, and there will still be the white. And this is the darkest tonality that I am building. So light here moves across this space where the fold is there. Okay, so where the fold is there, I have done the line that is really strong blue. But do I need that strong blue to continue? No, maybe not, because I want it to lighten up a bit. And this is where I will take a bit of white in this, and then I will start moving this across. You see, it lightens up. So you can do the same thing with black, then you build gray. But with black, do remember, be very sure to take very, very little of black. Black is a very strong pigment and it spreads faster, much faster. And if you are not so well versed with the oil painting, the only way out would be to wait for it to dry, oxidize, and then redo it if you don't like it. So I would advise you to be very, very cautious. Be slow and steady. And then let's give it a go with this. I've got the blue going. I think it is okay for now. And maybe I want to lighten this up again. Yeah, I can see it. It's lightened up, but maybe a little more lightening up is needed. So I wipe off. See, remember, if you're going back to the white, do wipe off your brush. I usually have some rag cloth with me and also tissues with me to wipe off. So handy, yeah. So I'm just going to try to drive the tonality down by 1 notch taking a bit more of the white and seeing where it goes. Yeah, I think this is a little more convincing for me. Maybe I'll do some more when I go on to the fourth layer of detailing, something like that. But for now, I think it's convincing for me now. Yeah? This is where it is. And at this stage, if it is not a bit too much, you can do, so after wiping off, I wiped off. After wiping off, you can try to do a little bit of this blending of the white alongside, because it doesn't look like a line. It doesn't look like a line when there is a fold, and the cloth coming out of fold doesn't necessarily look like a strong line out there. It does in one area where the fold is, but near to that, no, it doesn't. So you want to hide it, you want to blend it, and we will blend more of it also when it comes to the next level of detailing. We will do a little more of it. I did that. So I know that I don't need that much. If you see, I would say I have taken too much of this Perusian blue for the whole, subject's space where we are doing this. This is a lot. You don't need that much. You see that? So the less we are using is definitely more. And again, here it's not a stronger color. So I will again do a bit of the color. See, it looks like I'm only using the canvas to dry my brush. I'm not taking too much of the blue. So I did that, and I'm taking the white again to go on top of it. So it goes like this. See, very slightly blending this to build on the color tonality here. Have we got it? Coming here. Now I see that, very close to her armpit where the shirt is, the shoulder line and the shirt is going underneath. That's where it's actually slightly darker. So I don't need to darken it now. And I can blend it now like this. So it makes it look like a cloth going in. But underneath there, and that's where I take a bit of Perusian blue again on the tip. And I go right underneath. So I can see the spaces, the stronger, the darker features of the spaces where it deserves to be highlighted are very close to the areas where the human body is making the fold on the body of the cloth. So we just try to understand that momentum, that we are getting in the cloth. There is some, not too much, but there is some here, and there is a slight wrinkle here coming out. I will take a bit of the color to do this part again. This comes out. You can see that's how it merges. So this not so clear area again needs a bit of white again. So I go back because it's not that dark. Got the baby face also. Remember, when we readjusted the face, there is some space that I decided to leave off, and that's still sticking out, so I have to fix that, isn't it? So I'm going close, very close This is a little hard to remember, but if you're doing it continuously, yes, you can. Um, like I have explained in some of the videos, it's okay for you to continue painting when it is wet. It's called wet on wet, and it is fine to paint. If you are someone who is pretty new to this oil painting and is very scared or feeling a little uncomfortable, then it's okay to let it dry, wait for the oxidation process to happen, and then do it later. Yeah, so it's up to you. It's just about your convenience. This going very close to her hand, where again, because of the pressure of her hand and the way she's moving, the cloth is being pulled around like this, in different directions, and we are trying to show that. That's a little dark, so I want to use the darker tonality and go in, and possibly I will try to lighten it up when I come to the top of it, because there is also enough white here. You can continue to use what is there here. Yeah, did that get on fine for you? Okay, I'm coming close to another darker spot. This is actually not showing as dark, but if you see, it's close to where her hand is. So one cannot see much of it. Huh? And I'm taking a bit of Peruvian blue again to go on very close to the place where I think it's the curve or the collar of the shirt that she's wearing. Like going there. And if it's already looking too bluey, do not worry about it. So we will go over the light white aspect one more time and lightening it up. So I'm just going over the spaces where it's obviously there. And it did help, isn't it, that we did this slight detailing when we did the second layer or the third layer. Yeah, second layer, yes. Yeah, when we did the blocking, we did this. So it's easier for us to understand. Again, remember the spots that I adjusted. I'm seeing where I adjusted. So the places where I have left out, I need to work on and see that. So I'm going a little faster because I can see that I will, without going back to my palette, I'm just going with whatever is there in the brush to mark the sections where it is it's slightly dark, where I will make it bluey instead of that dark tonality. So I did that. And though it's dry, I'm not worried much. Now I'm going to go on taking a bit of the white again. So I will have to wipe off my brush to go back. Wiping off the brush to go back into the white. So I will use that to slightly develop into the areas where I missed out. Can you see that I did not fill it properly deliberately, because I knew that I will come back here like immediately. So I did that like that. So I have now gone back to every place, including the one that is missed out because of the readjustment that I did to the face of the baby girl. On there. So this is done. And then, yeah, let's come back to the other side, where again you can see that there was this space that I did not finish. So I'm coming back to this. In case anyone is wondering, what do you mean by this finish? I want to make sure that it's a smooth base, with help of a mirror like this, you can see if I've got spots left over or so. There are many spots left over. So I'm never fully done, but I keep on spots left over. What are spots left over? It's basically the space in between the cloth. If this is how the threads of the cloth are there is one tiny space in between, a crack in between every thread that is connected, and I don't like to see that crack. When I call it a finished product, I want no cracks at all to be visible. These are not cracks, but these are, what do you call it? The spaces between the threads, and that should not be visible. Okay, I did that here. I think I will need to come back with a darker tonality again, isn't it? Looks like there are some places that are obvious that I could have touched upon, but I did not. Let's do this close to her face. Okay. Okay, there is some more here. So I'm just going back to take the white only. So I'm not done much of picking up the blue again. I am so far convinced with this lighter blue aspect. I think I will now go to the Peruvian blue again. So I'm now taking the tip of the brush, number 2, which I'm still continuing to use, and making the sharper marks in the places where it deserves. One here, one here. We get that. This one here. Guess we got that here. Okay, I can see one space here that it could be better to mark off. Here, slightly. Yes. This one seems okay. Do we go over the overall edge? See, this layering, what I'm doing is also even more like what do you call prominent lines. Huh? These are prominent lines. There is one style of making prominent lines and marking the edges. That is also one style of painting. That is perfectly fine. We can do that. I like marking the edges, but I also like the idea of making them look natural. So what I will do in a short while from now, you'll see that I'm also trying to blending those edges that I made, sharp ones that I made. So that's where we are now working between making it pop out versus making it look real as well, isn't it? So this outlining technique, of course, it's helpful to see where things are. It's good, but it's not natural. We don't have any outlines in reality. These are what we see for our own eye to understand some basics. It's a good idea to have such outlines and to draw the outlines. So you feel, oh, it looks okay. But for me, I will have to merge them. So that's where I blend them. And there are 2-3 ways or many ways. You never know. The 2 ways that I can teach you will be to start with cleaning the brush and then having a bit more of the white with you to go over this section again. So it will lighten up naturally and you are pulling it down in the manner to blend it. Blend the sharp edge. Yeah, this is one way of doing it. There's another way also to do it and to use an earbud and try blending the edge because you have enough of paint already on the canvas, so you don't need to take one more brush or take one more of it sometimes, like what I did in the first step to show you. So I try to blend it like this. This is also a way to blend. Whichever way you feel comfortable, you can do. The most basic way, the third way I would say, will be to use the finger to blend. That's also something people love to do. Some blending. And do not worry if it is not blending well. We are going to go over these layers again. See? We will go over another layer of this. So even if the things that you have missed out, it will get better. There. So I'm cleaning up and I'm trying to do the same blending, taking a little more of the white to try blending them again, smoothing the edge to not make it look very bluey. Okay, always wiping it off again before I go back to the white. This is one way of making sure that you have still done the edges but trying to hide them. We've got this. We will come to one more layer of this detailing. and shading. Again, like the way we did the face, we also need to go back to the faces and the face and the hands. So we'll do that for this shirt as well. For now, it kind of tells me where things are, and the darkness and the lightness of it also in the places where I need. Lightly. Yeah. Yes, we have it in the places that we need, mostly. Good. So I think we are now ready to get started with the toy. So I see bright, beautiful colors. Now, what I'm going to do again is that maybe I will keep some of those colors because I like them, and the details I will work or rework on some of them. But then one thing, if you look at the picture, the picture has the toy. One side of the toy, one of the circles is green, and I'm thinking, should I have the same green because I want to show more of green on the, on the grass. So maybe I will try doing another color instead of that green. So I'm trying to see if I have the colors with me, maybe similar color tonalities. I want to work on them. The first thing I can see is that this bright yellow circle in the middle. I have a yellow, but this is not going to be. So what I have is a permanent yellow light, but it is not going to be the same, because I know that it is slightly different, and this is where it's going to help me have a bit of the yellow ochre light mixed up. Yellow ochre light, where did we take it before? We took that for the baby girl's face. If you are not having yellow ochre light, yellow ochre will also do. And if you do not want to use the brush that's got the blue, in my case, I do not want to do that. So I'm going back to another brush, maybe brush number 6. There's not too much of a detail that I'm going to do now, so I take a little bit of that yellow ochre light. In my case, if you have yellow ochre, that's also fine. Try to see the combination of the colors when you combine the yellow ochre with the yellow that you might have in your, the permanent yellow that you might have. You will get a color tonality that is close to what we have here. Again, it's a toy. I do not want to copy exactly the same of the toy, but I want to capture some of the nice features of the toy. That's why I am going to use this yellow color light. So I'm using this. And one thing did you notice, and this is exactly why I painted it before telling you what it is. It is translucent. Translucent means it will show what is there behind. And now it depends. Do you want it to show? Do you want the previous tonalities to show? If yes, then it's fine. If not, then you can add a little bit of white to that. I'm not mixing here because I like mixing spontaneously here. But if you want to mix, you can always mix. And try mixing here. See what happens. Then it brightens up, lightens up, and then you get the color tonality. Nice. So I'm playing with the yellow, and because of the white, can you see how the yellow brightens up? The white helps with the translucence, removing the translucence of the yellow and brightening up the yellow. And that's also a reason why I added a little bit of yellow ochre to change the color, because I want it to be bright but not too bright yet. But there will be layers that I will work on. I do that. I did this section. I know that I will come back here for the I'll come back here for the pink and the orange, and yeah, so many colors, isn't it? So we'll do that. Color. Be a bit more of the white. Will help me give that light tonality. It will help me build the base for the next layer. This one. Orange. That is going to be easy because we already picked up the yellow. So I can take a little bit of vermilion maybe. Maybe if you get lucky. Yes, I do have vermilion. So slight bit of vermilion, not too much. And I will mix the vermilion with the yellow. I want to see which type of color tonality I need. I'm trying to do that. Maybe I need a little more, so I'm mixing a little more. Because it is, these color tonalities bring you close to peach, also if you let it, so it's up to you to take. I like this. It's not too bright of an orange for now, and that's where I want to stop, because the next layer may be darker or brighter if I want it. I'll do that. Again, what is going wrong here? Translucence. Yes. So we pick up a bit of white. For me, I want to use the white directly here. It is looking like peach, isn't it? But we can make it orange, no problem. At least for now, I want the translucence to be gone, and it is gone. Then I can change the color tonality easily. This is one. This is where it stops, so I did that. And remember, we are doing the sides, isn't it? So I will also do the side of it, the same color tonality. I will go. Did that. Good. Now coming back to the logic of the orange that we missed. So I'm taking a little bit more of the vermilion. Now I want to put it directly on top of it and see where it goes. Looks pinkish. So we definitely need the yellow, isn't it? So I like mixing directly like this and getting the color. Now we have a bit of, looks kind of orange. Getting there. We are getting Feel alive. Hmm. There you go. Mhm. Okay. And remember to do the sides. You know what? For the ones that are thinking, okay, I will anyways uh, buy a frame, I will never do the sides. As a practice, try doing the sides. You never know which customer of yours is going to ask for it. Just try doing the sides. Gives another learning of, where do things bend along. Try doing the sides. Even if you are not someone who would leave a painting out like this without a frame, try this. It's going to be a good practice. I'm thinking, I like this color so much. We put a lot of effort into achieving this color. I want to use this instead of that, the green. I'm taking that, I'm filling it here, close to her hand. Go well. Do I need a white? Yes, I do. Lightly. So I am. So it's not necessarily looking the same, but it is similar in a way. That's what I want because I just don't want to use the green. I'm going to fill this with green. The reason I am a little bit skeptical about taking more of green is that green has a tendency of dominating uh, very easily. So, it could easily be that when we do grass here with green and so on, that it starts getting overpowering and kind of move the attention away from the baby girl who's the center of the painting. So I'm a little bit concerned about that at this stage. So that's why I'm trying to avoid spaces where I could do more of green. That's why I'm just choosing not to do a green here. That's just my choice. Okay. So now we are coming to the pink. We figured out the pink already on the way. So it's going to be easy. Yeah, isn't it? Should we go back with another brush maybe? So I'm just going back to different brushes, but for the ones who love to go wash the brushes, who have good habits other than me, please do that. I'm going to go take the white first. I just noticed something. There are some spaces that are whitey white, and I'm glad I still have the white brush with me. This center space is going to have a lot of things going later, so I'm just going to fill it with the white for now, and then come back to it when it dries because it's got some interesting glassy elements. So that's also why I wanted to try this with you. It is going to be a bit of a challenge for us, isn't it, to try. Let's have it. Let's see where we go with that. So I'm just filling it with white for now. It's got a base that is white and it's got some toys inside, and then it's covered with a glass or a plastic, maybe not glassy glass. Wouldn't be a good idea for baby girl to have it. I've got this covered, done, and then there's this white on this. The orange circle also has some toy things painted, so it's got white. So I'm going to do that. We're getting there. Do not worry too much when colors are blending here and there. This is a practice. You want it not to blend because these are separate, unlike what we did here. See, look at the difference. When we were doing the white and the blue here, or you might have picked up any other color, you wanted it to blend. So we tried to blend because we were trying to show naturality. But this is a plastic object, it's a toy. So this is where we do not want things to blend because we want them to look solid, each and every single aspect of it to look solid. But if it blends, it's okay. We are working on this and learning from it, isn't it? So try not to blend. If it blends, then we can fix it later. Again, going back to the bottom. Okay, we're there. Good. Now let's get back to this is blue. So you will see that these circles have the empty, these circles are empty, which means the grass is going to show. So we will not complete it as such. These circles also will have some shapes where it's empty. So we'll do the blue. I want a different blue, so I'm picking up not the Perusian blue. I have sky blue with me. I think this is what we used when we tried to do the second layer of the sky. So I'll take that. I think it fits perfectly in for the circle that we are working on. And for me, this bright blue, the sky blue that I have, is not so translucent, so I'm okay with it. But if you feel that there is a need to add a bit of white to make it come up or hide the previous colors in your canvas, I think it is okay to try. Yeah. I think I will take a bit of the white myself. Maybe not too much, but slightly. But I just want to do the shine. There is this, the light coming, so there is this shine here in the toy. I want to keep that and, maybe just lighten it up a bit. This is done. And I will now move on to the pink and the red. I guess I have the vermilion with me, which will help with the red. Looks like. So let's go for it. Let's do this. Again, if it is a little too opaque, you might add white, but be aware, it's going to look pinkish. I'm doing this fully and then I will show you what happens. When I choose to take a little bit of white, just the way we did with the blue. When we did the blue lightened up, so nothing big happened. The vermilion will also lighten up, but it turns pink. Is that the pink that we want? Or is that the color tonality that we want? If yes, then it's fine. If no, then we might want to rework on that. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of the white to show you. There you go. It's pink already. Yeah. So I have achieved kind of hiding the previous brown that we used as the layer to work on the basics of the toy. But in the process, it's become slightly pinkish that I do not want maybe. So I will rework and add more of the color. So I'm just going to go over the area just to make sure that the previous color tonality is gone thoroughly. Yeah, with that. Now I will go over and take a little more of this vermilion. On top, just to make sure that it is still that dark, giving the feel of the red. Now it is good. Yeah? Let's do the pink. Yummy. I have, it's easy for me. I still have the crimson from what we did with the baby faces. And so I will take a bit of that. And I haven't washed the brush, so there is vermilion in my brush. Let me take a bit of the white and see what happens. Bit more of the white. That's a pretty pink. So I'm adding a bit more of this crimson. The white is added already, so you don't have to worry about the translucence issue. This is nice. Do we get on with this, or maybe I want a bit of the vermilion also to go? Just me, trying to find some more options. Just adding it to see how it goes. Yes, I think I like this color. So it's still, slightly different from what we have. Previous one, hopefully. Adding a bit of white. Yeah, good. Good to go. Enough of a mixture. Let's go back to this space and remember this pad. If you are doing exactly what is there, at least with this toy, this has small little holes in it, and from that holes one can see the ground. So interesting. I'm leaving the space like this. Maybe I made a mistake. Not exactly like this, but it's okay. For now, let it look like that. And then I'm going to fill in the spaces where it's not showing the grass or not going to show the grass. Yeah. And if you see, I'm not taking too much of oil. Less is more, less is more, less is more. Less is always more. Again, yeah, we need to go down. So I'm leaving this space as one more for the green to pop out, to have the grass coming out from inside. So I'm not going to fill that, but I did this. But Are we there? Did we survive through this? Are we ready to go to the unknown zone? Yes, we're doing this. Of course, we are doing the sides. This is definitely, giving you an understanding of dimension. How do you proceed to show dimension on the sides? There you go. Isn't that a nice toy? It's looking pretty already. Good. I promised to show you how I wash my brushes, and this is what I have. I think it is very natural process to wash oil with oil. And turpentine oil is something basic that you can find that people are using to wash. Many artists do that, and it's a very good one to wash. Personally, I have also tried that, and it does work very well to wash all my brushes. But then again, the smell is strong, and it is a little inconvenient for me. So I have found another solution. So what I use is the same liquid that I use to wash all my utensils. So the basic, anything basic that you find. So this is what I find in my local supermarket, and it's a washing up liquid for all utensils. So I take a bit of this, and you will see me using an empty jar like this. I pour a bit of the liquid in here. Then all my brushes without water, just see, it's just got only the liquid that I poured without water. All these brushes go in to my washing liquid. I'm just trying to think of other brushes that I might have to clean. Looks like most of them are dirty already, so good ones. I like it when all ones need to be cleaned together because it's, can you see, the process is simple. Keep going like this, and most of the color comes out even without water. And look at the amount of the liquid that I've taken. It's really very less, and most of it comes out very well. And then once I'm done, I feel that it's got enough soap and all the colors are coming out enough. Then I go and wash them in a little bit of warm water and then cold water. Keep doing the warm and cold. Then all the color comes out, and the brushes, the synthetic brushes also are sustaining a bit more. This is what I have seen from my own experiment. And I think some of them also do this. I have seen some artists share such an idea. So it's possible to work with this as well. Yep. I think for now we have done the. We have continued with the layers on the shirt of the baby girl, and also we did the layers for the toy. It looks like we have done a good job with this. The next step will be to go on to the grass and the sky. It sounds exciting, of course, but I think we'll have to wait for the next class. In the next class, we are going to see what that is. Yes. Thank you very much for watching, and if you are learning from these classes, please do share your comments what you're learning, and if you want to learn more, do let us know what you want to learn more. Share the pictures. That's even more interesting for us to see what exactly you are getting onto and how things are coming up for you. That's all for today's class. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.